Welcome back to the 128 Gaming Podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
That's right. The demand is so lacking that we're here every week for your gaming needs.
Other than the other week when we weren't here.
Because it was my birthday.
It was,
And we got lazy in that cake.
Yes. It said it was 8 portions, but really it was like 3.
It was like 3.
Yeah.
And winter's definitely happened. I've got jumper on.
Yes.
I know.
I'm freezing.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I'm really cold.
So if you see us twitching around, that's why.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this cold. It's only October.
I know.
Is it October when this goes out?
I have no idea. It is now. I don't know.
I always forget not to date things.
Yes.
Because obviously, it may shock you, but we film these slightly in advance.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Maybe like a couple of days in advance.
Yeah, maybe.
Sometimes we film 2 in one day. And then I forget that it might be in the future by the time it goes out.
We could be filming in 2025 right now.
Or sometimes we do that and then something really exciting happens in between and we end up pushing one back.
It, and then sometimes what we say doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Well, what we say never makes sense.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's delusional.
We're hyperbolic as well.
Fake.
Fake.
Mm.
Fake.
Mm.
Fake.
Yeah, my favourite comment of all time.
Yes. So this is your weekly dose of all things gaming with
Indeed.
2 absolutely fake gamers.
Yes.
And you've been such a fake gamer recently.
I have been
That
recently.
you've not even been playing games.
I've not really.
What happened?
I've played the odd bit of Call of Duty and stuff. So I've still been playing games, but not like what I've been wanting to play.
Mm-hmm.
And like long-term viewers will know that I was like, right, I'm going to play through Star Wars Outlaws.
Yes.
Complete it.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Go back to Ghost of Satsuma.
Yeah, he's going to
and
complete that. As well.
that.
Yeah.
And then move on to whatever else it was that I wanted to play. That didn't happen, did it? No, because I went on the eGPU rabbit hole for the Ally X.
You turned into a full Master Race nerd.
Yes.
Yeah, and got the Ally X.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, I'm loving playing PC gaming again. Like the Steam Deck kind of edged you back into that a bit.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And then the Ally X happened and that edged you in even more.
Yes.
And then it was like, I could play the Ally X on my TV.
Yeah.
So you started docking it.
Yeah.
Like with a pass-through dock and stuff. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I could get actually better performance out of this because I've got a stupid massive TV.
Yeah. At the time I didn't. I only had the 55
only
inch
had a
OLED.
55
Yeah.
OLED.
Only had a 55-inch OLED, yeah.
What TV have you got now?
I've now got a 77-inch OLED. But there was one TV in between that.
Yes.
So continuing your story, it went to docking it.
Yes.
And then I thought, I'll get more performance by going eGPU route.
So you've gone from like tweaking settings to
tweaking hardware.
tweaking hardware. And what I like is that you sold your gaming laptop.
Yes. And my gaming PC.
You then sold your gaming PC, which was actually hooked up to your TV.
Yes.
So you sold that because you wanted the ease of, like, I've just got consoles and this handheld, that's all I need.
Yeah.
And now you've gone from tweaking settings so much that you want hardware. You've now hooked up or wanted to hook up an external GPU to your TV so you can play your Ally X on your TV like the gaming PC was.
But just purely out of laziness, because with the Ally X, all the saves are local. I don't have to rely on cloud saves. So every save is local on my Ally, so I can play on the go.
Yeah.
eGPU dock it into the TV, boom, really good performance with the same save without having to transfer saves across PCs.
Now, I was at your house when the Razer, what's it called? Viper, is it?
No, that's a mouse. The Razer Core V2.
V2, that's what I was thinking. It was a V thing. Arrived, so your eGPU chassis.
Yeah.
And you originally hooked it up and started playing Outlaws and Ghost of Satsuma. And it looked amazing.
It was great, wasn't it?
It was phenomenal. And I was like, do you know what? This seems really convoluted and you've gone through this ridiculously long journey.
Yes.
But
the output was great.
It does look amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
it worked.
fair enough.
Yeah, it did work.
Until
it didn't. But between that period of time where it didn't work, I know I could get even better performance again if I had a gaming TV.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
So we sold the old TV, bought a gaming TV, got a 75-inch mini LED, which supported FreeSync. So
amazing.
I could, VRR.
Yeah.
144 hertz TV. So now I can utilize frame gen without screen tearing. Brilliant. Had the best time for about a week.
This is so good.
And then my eGPU decided to just die a slow death. So I was getting I was running everything in, actually Ghost of Satsuma, I was playing at 4K and getting nearly 100 FPS.
It was pretty insane.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Then it went down to 50 FPS. I was like, that's a bit weird. Like half to the performance, but it still ran all right.
Yeah.
But Outlaws, right, went from around 80, 90 FPS at 1440p, everything maxed out, all the crazy ray tracing stuff. That went from like 90 FPS to like 20.
Yeah, it's not playable.
It was like the frame time was all over the place. So there was stuttering everywhere. Like it was like it just broke out of nowhere. And I was like, what? And I spent weeks, literally weeks, every waking hour, in the evenings, in the mornings on my phone, like anytime I had spare.
Yeah.
Like I was researching this and I could not find the solution. I tried everything. I even reformatted my Ally X, started from scratch. Had to watch my own videos on how to set it up. All the tips and tricks that I came up with previously.
What did I say to them here?
So I was literally watching it. It was quite funny because I said to my wife, like, I'm wiping it, but I need to consult, the world's best YouTuber.
Yes, of course.
And she was like, all right, yeah. And then she heard my voice playing from my phone. She was like, oh, you idiot. So anyway, I spent ages trying to fix this thing. And I came to the conclusion that the enclosure was broken. It's like 7-8 year.
It's a cautionary tale, if nothing else.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
because it is old hardware.
Don't buy old stuff off eBay. And I was just like, I went down that route for ease.
Yeah,
because it's like a pre-built thing.
Yes.
You just drop a card in, done.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go down the dead RoboCop with having wires everywhere. And having a GPU and a PSU.
Well, we spoke about it a lot. An exposed GPU just sat on the side, sucking in all your dog fur.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I didn't want that. So I was like, no, I'll go the older route, even though the performance would be worse. But anyway, so I decided it's dead.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight the guy on eBay and send it back.
Yeah.
Because he listed it as new.
Yeah.
I was like, don't work. And he was like, you've had it for like weeks and you said it was fine. And I was like, yeah, well, at the time it was. It's not anymore.
It's not anymore.
And I luckily, kindness of this guy's heart, refunded me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to build my own one and do what I should have done at the beginning. And in that time, the TV died. So the brand new eGPU I got died, and the brand new TV died.
Right.
It's more of a, I'm sorry if the retailer's watching me. I'm going to tell you a story about mini LEDs and the problem they have with local dimming patches, right? So basically, in dark areas, it turns off the LEDs to try and mimic an OLED.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work.
No.
And it causes flickering in shadows where it can't deal with how quick images are moving and how quickly it has to turn on and off the LED local dimming panels.
Yeah.
So if you've got a keen eye, which unfortunately I do,
and
all I
just
could
staring
see
at this black space.
Yeah. I'm looking at the black stuff shimmering, going, and I was like, oh man, I cannot deal with that.
No.
So we'd had that for about 2.5 weeks, and I noticed the problem, and I was just honed in. Said to my wife, I'm going to return it. It's faulty. I can't deal with this. We'll upgrade again, and get an OLED again, because I can't be without it now. Now we've experienced what
it should be.
It should be. So I was like, So I went through this rigmarole of maybe pretending like the problem was worse than it was.
Wow.
Yeah. It's because I couldn't deal with having this TV. Got the next one up, the OLED one. So it's still got the ambilight stuff on the walls, 120 hertz, official G-Sync compatible.
That's amazing.
On a TV?
How have they licensed that?
I don't know. Monies. They
just paid the monies.
Yeah. So it's got FreeSync Premium and G-Sync.
Yeah.
120 hertz. Proper OLED, 77 inch. It takes up the whole wall.
It's insane.
It is mental.
I can't wait to see it.
It's so much better than the last one as well. The mini LED one looked rubbish in comparison to this. It looked good at first because you're all hyped. You're like, new TV, big, bright. But then when you see the OLED, you're like, wow, that's what it should have been like. But anyway, so got rid of the old TV, got the OLED, and now I've gone and ordered all the parts to make my own eGPU. So I've gone with the absolute best currently available, the ADT Link UT3G.
Well remembered.
Yes, what a bunch of numbers and letters. Which utilizes USB 4.0 V1. So you get PCIe, it's 4x4 input, basically. It's like the most bandwidth you can get out of essentially how much you would... So this is USB instead of Thunderbolt, but it's still 40 gigabits bandwidth. But with Thunderbolt, it reserves bandwidth for like I/O and other stuff that it will be sending through. With USB 4, it's nothing. So there's no power delivery, there's no I/O or anything. It's just pure, like,
just bandwidth, just for
bandwidth for the GPU going into your device. So this, I think, with the Thunderbolt ones, you're looking at like up to 30% loss in performance from your graphics card. With the USB 4 one, it's anywhere between like 7 and 15%.
Yeah.
So it's like way,
I
way
had the
better.
15% figure was the top end.
Yeah. So it's way, way, way better than these older controllers for Thunderbolt. And it's all arrived, and it's sat in my house in boxes and bits and pieces everywhere.
Full dead Robocop. I love
Dead
it.
Robocop.
Yeah.
So I obviously had to buy a PSU as well.
Yeah.
So that ADT Link UT3G is literally just a board.
It's just the control
with
board,
a PCIe slot in it, and then a USB out, and that is it. And it's got like little rubber feet on so that you can dead Robocop it, just to have it on the side. And then I had to buy a power supply, so I was like, I'm getting a modular one, because otherwise you have all the mess of cables coming out.
Yeah, fair.
So I was like, I'll pay a bit more, get a better rated power supply so it's clean, good power, protect the device and the board. And I want it modular, so all I need is the 24-pin into that board and then the 8-pin into my graphics card, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet, minimal setup. And I went for a Corsair 750E power supply, which is an ATX size, but slightly smaller.
Okay.
And I thought that could come in handy when I eventually figure out how I want to enclose this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not living dead Robocop.
You can't.
No, I
you
can't do it.
For all the reasons we said before, you can't do that.
I can't do it because I want this in my living room.
Yeah.
I've got a very big dog.
Yeah.
And I don't want it getting broken.
Yeah.
And I want it protected from the dust.
And you don't want it looking so...
Yeah, I don't want it looking...
You don't want to look like a Bitcoin miner.
No. I don't think my wife would be happy.
No, I don't think... I mean, she's into gaming, but not that much.
Yeah, but not with having half an open PC across the TV, So I thought maybe having that smaller PSU could be utilized in some sort of shroud or something that I'll figure out in the future.
Yeah, some chassis for it.
Yeah. But so that's the journey I've been on. I haven't actually plugged it in yet. I mean, by the time this video goes out, I will be well away on my testings and stuff. But, as of right this second, it's all just in bits and it's all ready. I've got it all ready. I just haven't plugged it in.
What I love about that whole journey is that it started with, how do I get PC gaming to be more convenient?
Yes.
It's ended up being ridiculous.
Well, once it's finished, it'll be convenient.
Obviously, you're going to do a whole bunch of videos for it on the main 128KB channel. I'm looking forward to those.
Yes.
Firstly, to see the journey of frustration.
Yes.
That's going to be hilarious.
Yes.
But also, at the end, I want to know if cost and performance and hassle is how that compares to just gaming on your PC to start with.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, if you take the Ally X out of the equation, then it's cheaper to just buy, or build
of course.
Your own mini PC to stick in the living room, or full size if you don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you could easily buy like a micro ATX case and make a real nice little PC.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They're cool, aren't they? And you could have that down, laying down like a console.
Yeah.
And just plug it in like that with a keyboard or a controller or whatever. To your TV. However, if you're going the Ally X route, it's definitely cheaper to have an Ally X and an eGPU setup than having an Ally X and another PC setup.
Of course.
Because all you're buying is a power supply, a board, and a graphics card. And you don't need anything else.
I love the idea of this kind of ultimate hybrid experience.
That's exactly what I was chasing.
It's like the Nintendo Switch on absolute steroids.
The Nintendo Switch 3.
It's more like the Switch 30.
Yeah, true.
All of the accessibility of PC gaming as well. But having it as a hybrid experience, that's super cool.
And the other thing is having the PC experience on the TV.
Yeah.
Because for 20 years, I've sat at a desk.
It's just not the same.
PC. It's not the same. And I work at a desk now. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to stay at the desk.
Yeah.
And, I want to be with my missus and my dog.
Yeah.
And usually that's sprawled out on the sofa. So it's like, I just want to be chilling there on the big screen.
And also, I don't know, feel the same now. There's a different experience of playing with a controller as to playing keyboard mouse.
Yeah.
Keyboard and mouse is like you're in it, you're taking this super competitively and like it needs to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Playing on a controller, sitting back on a sofa, it's just a different thing.
It's a more casual experience, and that's what I want. But I want the benefits of PC, of having like the better textures, like having that bump up in resolution and stuff. I want it to look as good as it can.
And when you had this is the thing, when you had the tease, the glimpse when I was at your house and first the eGPU was working.
Yeah, the first one,
the first glimpse of it and seeing Outlaws running so well, seeing Ghost of Tsushima running so well.
Yes.
Like, I totally get this.
Yeah.
And having that performance but sat back on your sofa
on
with
your
a controller.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Exactly.
And then, all right, you need to go on a train journey or you want to go up to your bedroom, go to unplug it, literally hot plug.
Yeah, hot swap it. Yeah. And if I hadn't have experienced that, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah.
If we'd have bought that eGPU enclosure and it didn't work or the performance was rubbish, I would have stopped there and returned it and just forgot about it and probably
built. It's because you had that tease.
But because I had the tease where it worked brilliantly for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, it worked ideally and I was having a great time. Like you said, unplugging it. The only downside there is changing the settings for when it's like docked versus undocked. So you have to go in the game settings and change it all again. But other than that, I was having a great time. Like, I played Ghost of Tsushima, handheld, bam, into the TV, bam, 4K, like 100 or whatever, FPS. I was like, this is amazing.
Even like Call of Duty was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane. And max settings was still getting like 140 FPS or something. It was like stupid.
Yeah.
So it was really good fun. But yeah, if I hadn't have experienced how good that was, I definitely would have gone down this journey.
Yeah.
But this, because obviously it broke, but if it was broken from the get-go, I probably would have been a bit more skeptical of chasing it. But now I've got all the parts and I'm super excited to put them together, especially with less bottleneck, with the latest USB 4 board that I've got, the controller. I can't wait to test it out. And I'm hoping it's going to be plain sailing.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see. I can't wait for the journey to unfold. And it kind of leads really well to what I wanted to talk about today.
Yes.
Which is the opposite end of this journey.
Yeah.
It's what the Steam Deck started. Which is how to make PC gaming super accessible to the console gamers.
Yeah, to everybody.
The Steam Deck is and was that. It's such a phenomenal... I want to say like a seismic shift in gaming.
Absolutely, yeah. Valve's done something incredible.
Absolutely.
They really have.
And totally unexpected when you consider their history in hardware.
Yes. Yeah,
it's not been good for them in the past.
No, not really, no.
But the Steam Deck, and in particular the Steam Deck OLED, has changed how PC gaming is for the future.
It's a phenomenal
and it just opened it up to people like me that had always been, this PC game is not for me. I'm way more casual with how I interact with games. So the Steam Deck opened that up. So I wanted to kind of look back and then forwards and go, is now the right time for Steam to make an actual console, for Valve to make an actual console?
Yeah, the Steam machine, the return.
The return of the Steam machine. Obviously, it had a checkered past.
Yes.
A very unsuccessful launch about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was when
2015,
the concept...
was it?
2014 was when it started being thrown around and teased and discussed with other manufacturers, as far as I'm aware. And then 2015, I think, is when it launched.
Yeah.
And then by 2017 or 18, it had been killed.
And I think it makes sense to look at the past first of all, because the Steam machine originally, it did run on a version of Steam OS.
Yeah.
But firstly, it wasn't a console.
No.
And secondly, it wasn't like a dedicated, regulated piece of hardware. It was more
the Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck is. Yeah. It was more of an idea.
It was, that other manufacturers could produce. So unlike the Steam Deck, where it's just you buy the Steam Deck, they're all the same, just like a console.
Yes.
And so they can all be updated the same. You all know that all the games are going to work the same.
Yeah.
I know there's a bit of performance difference between the LCD and the OLED, but negligible.
That's right.
That's right. I can't talk.
Yeah,
whereas these old Steam machines were like, Alienware are going to do some, and it would be like, oh look, we've got 5 models going from $400 to £20 million.
Here's the gigabyte version.
Here's the gigabyte one. Here's the Zotac one, and it's like they're all different. They were just random PCs.
Yes,
with a Steam badge on it.
Yeah, exactly that.
And that's not great.
No,
do you know what I mean?
It seems obvious, but the success of the Steam Deck is that it's one piece of hardware, essentially.
Absolutely.
That's very easy to maintain, update, and Steam. Valve are really good at doing that.
Yes.
But also, that's from the kind of manufacturer's perspective, but from the consumer's perspective, it's one piece of hardware that's the same for everyone, exactly like a console.
And it means their verification system works. For everybody.
Yes.
If you see the little green check mark saying Steam Deck verified, whoever's got a Steam Deck, it's going to work.
Yeah.
With nothing needed, no tinkering. All the graphics settings work base level off. You literally need to do nothing. If it's got the green check mark, you click on the game, run it, and you will be able to play it without any hiccups.
Yeah.
And that is what these older ones absolutely wouldn't have done, because every single one was a different...
Completely different.
Yeah.
It was. They were just PCs.
They were just PCs with a badge.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
So is now the time for them to create an actual home and a lounge console, a TV console?
Well, I think that they could. I mean, looking back at the history, without these Steam machines, we wouldn't have the Steam Deck.
That's very
because
true.
Everything that they did on the Steam OS side is now fully fleshed out on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And they were even like toying with the idea of doing a handheld.
Yeah,
they?
there was some third parties that tried to launch a Kickstarter or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know it. Like
Schmack.
Yeah, Schmackhead. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Schmackhead. There was a Kickstarter and then they went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Probably Smackhead then.
Yeah, probably Smackheads, yeah. but yeah, like everything they did there has, I think, led to what the Steam Deck is.
Yes.
And they went, hang on a second, because the Steam Deck is really a home console as well.
Yeah.
You could easily just plug it in the TV and forget it's there. Have it in a cabinet, and just always have it docked. But obviously there's limitations there because it's designed to be a handheld device and a docked thing, like as an afterthought. But I think with how popular the Steam Deck is, and also seeing how many people that genuinely run it docked a lot.
Yeah.
Just like with the Switch, it's a handheld, but most people play it docked.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing with the Steam Deck, I think, like maybe not as big as the Switch. I think more people probably play the Steam Deck handheld because it's such a great portable PC experience.
Yeah.
But there's definitely probably 30%, 40% of people that are just using it docked only.
And of course, once you go to the point of it, once it's handheld, there's huge limitations in cooling, in size, and in power delivery. So that obviously limits the kind of performance of the current hardware that's available. As soon as you go to it being attached to your TV, then you have all of those problems are reduced dramatically. You can have much higher power delivery. You can have much better cooling, which means you can have much better hardware inside it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So the performance headroom then increases dramatically.
Yeah. And especially like, it depends how big they made it. Do you know what I mean? If they want it really compact, then obviously then you're going to run into the same limitations. Looking at APUs, sharing the load between one, SoC. But if you went for something slightly bigger, like a console size, they could even use discrete graphics. Have as you said, more cooling space, better solutions like that. Could maybe even be upgradability, but I kind of would argue it'd be better if they didn't.
No, I don't think they should. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it should be like the Steam Deck is. I mean, obviously you can take the Steam Deck apart, you can upgrade certain parts, but you don't need to.
No.
Not like you do with a PC. You don't need to have that knowledge.
No, the only thing it should have is a replaceable M.2 slot.
Yeah,
that's
like
all
the PlayStation's got.
Yeah, exactly that. And easily accessible. Open the door, chuck it in, done.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with that. The thing I kind of fantasizing about with it, the more we talk about it, is what if it's hybrid?
Yeah.
Because the Steam Deck itself has been massively successful, and the only thing truly that holds it back is performance.
Yes,
it is underpowered for right now,
especially now. Yeah. At the time, it was on the edge. But now it's definitely underpowered. Like in comparison to looking at like the Ally X, for example,
or the Legion Go as well.
The Legion Go, any of those that are using the like Z1 Extreme, especially now we know the Z2 Extremes coming next year. The RDNA 3.5 stuff. Yeah. So that's going to be a massive jump between the Steam Deck.
One thing that definitely makes this easier looking forward onto what really kind of what we're talking about is what the Steam Deck 2 will be in some ways.
Kind of, yeah.
But will they have a console version or will they just make it hybrid? One thing that definitely makes it easier is how far advanced now some of the driver level and hardware based upscaling and frame gen stuff has got.
Yes.
Literally in the past couple of years, how far that's come along.
Yeah. All the like AI stuff like is incredible. Whether that's like you said, hardware or software. Yeah. So you got like DLSS for NVIDIA, which is the hardware side, or AMD are still currently on the driver level upscalers with FSR and
is FSR 3 out?
Yes, FSR 3 is out currently, but then you've got like AFMF 2 like currently, and all of that kind of stuff. But AMD have turned around and said we're spinning on our heels and going back, and we're going to actually now start doing hardware based upscaling. Brilliant. Because they've realized there's limitations to the software side.
Yeah, of course.
And which we think we're seeing on PISA on the PS5 Pro.
That is the PISA.
Yeah, and that's AMD. So that would be the first like...
Yes, actually a really good point. Yeah.
So I think whilst it would be really cool to have a hybrid system from Valve, I actually think it would probably be more tactful not to. Yeah. Because I'm sure there's loads of people that love the idea of the Steam Deck but go, I just never use it handheld. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Kind of, I was just about to say, kind of like yourself. Yeah. And would probably be like, I'd rather use a box that's a bit more powerful.
And there's a higher perceived value as well, I think.
Yeah.
For the masses.
Yes. Yeah. And it just sits at your home. You know it's safe. You know, you're not going to lose it or get robbed as easily.
I think there's space in the market for it as well. Yeah. There's space in the market for another console competitor.
Yeah. And especially one that's in PC land, which is why the Steam Deck wins so much.
So much.
Because anyone can use it. Yeah. Like, you know, little Billy can use it.
Yeah. And if you've got any games from the past, from your past PC experience or Steam Deck experience, you know that they're there. You're not going to have to buy them again.
Absolutely.
Which is a massive advantage over the consoles.
Yes.
Like a huge advantage.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And to be fair, if this played out to the point where Steam Deck made it decent, and didn't make the hybrid thing, just made a actual Steam machine that was capable. Let's say they middle point it and aim at 1440p gaming at like decent FPS, like 60 locked on like everything, like with like upscalers or whatever, totally possible. Yes. I wouldn't be chasing this eGPU thing, I don't think. I think I'd buy one.
Well, I know for certain if there was an announcement, say that this kind of fall period, that there's a Steam machine coming, I would buy that 100 times over buying a PS5 Pro.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, I'm in.
Oh yeah. I'm
in. Yeah. I'm totally in. If it came on the market, I'd definitely buy it. I'd be excited to see another player in the console space. There's a lot that just makes sense about it. Yes. As well. Not just the competition thing, but just because of like the games library, how great Valve are at supporting their like the Steam Deck now in particular.
Yes. Yeah.
I would even go as far as to say, if it happened, I think Xbox positions in the market is deeply troubled.
I would agree with that. I genuinely would agree with that because especially if Steam, like Valve, went with one Steam machine, like one version. Yes. That's it. There's no factory.
No variants. Yeah.
It's just that, and then carried on the verification symbol. Yep. But like made the symbol different or something, so that it just tells you if it works, not or whatever. That would then open it up to the ease of everybody again, just like the Steam Deck. And then Xbox are in trouble because all the Xbox games are pretty much on Steam. Do you know what I mean? And if not, I'm sure you'd be able to, like, I don't know, get around it by even just streaming Game Pass to it or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously you wouldn't be able to run native Game Pass on the Steam machine because it's Linux.
No, but you'd probably be able to dual boot it.
Yeah, you could easily dual boot it if you wanted
Linux.
to. Yeah, exactly. It will still just be a PC. But yeah, I agree with you that I think it would really hurt Xbox if they did that. Yeah. Unless Xbox made like a Linux-based like version of Game Pass that could run on it. And then, do you know what I mean? Like to have some sort of deal with Valve and maybe put, I don't know, even put frickin' Steam on an Xbox or something, which is way more difficult.
Yeah, that's way more difficult.
But if they had like an agreement where Xbox Game Pass was natively ran on Steam via like a Steam machine.
What's the point of the Xbox?
Exactly. Yeah.
At that point, what's the point? It's almost there already. What's the point of an Xbox?
It's close. Which is a shame because I love my Xbox. I genuinely do.
Yeah, I think they're phenomenal.
I'm going to buy the next one day one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love it.
But, okay, day one.
Yeah.
An announcement happens at the same time. But you've only got a budget of, let's say by then it's £600.
Yeah.
Steam Machine 2.
Yeah.
or whatever they call it, and the Xbox, whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me.
What do you pick?
Tough one for me, because by then, hopefully, I'll have a nice eGPU running on my Ally X.
Yeah, I know, get it, yeah.
So for me, I would go for an Xbox, personally.
Because it's so much different to the Ally X.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just because I feel like the Ally X docked with an eGPU will basically be the same exactly as the Steam machine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not really aimed at me at that point. So I feel like I would go with Xbox.
How many of the Steam Deck players would jump straight onto
Absolutely.
it?
And
especially the newer ones that now have like a library that's developing with Steam.
Yeah. And again, if your games are on Steam, there's a real high chance that you've got cloud saves there.
Yes.
You know, different for me on my Ally X because I'm jumping between launchers.
Yeah.
EA launcher, Ubisoft, GOG, like there's all this crap. Whereas on Steam, you're on Steam. So it would be the Steam Deck player's best mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you've got a Steam Deck and then you had a Steam machine on your TV, how cool would that be?
It'd be unreal.
It's so easy. Like that is a winning situation, I think.
And because the Steam library is so good and it's so by a million miles the best kind of digital storefront for gaming.
Yeah.
So much better than what PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo offer.
It's
like
leaps ahead.
a million miles.
Yeah.
It's so super friendly to players.
Yes.
The deals that are on there are so good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not worried about playing games day one, just add it to your wish list and wait. And there'll definitely be a sale and you'll definitely get it cheaper.
I get emails almost daily.
Yeah.
This thing you wish listed like 20 years ago is on sale. I'm like, yeah. Okay.
If they can take a slice of the TV market, then I dare say it'd be very hard for any of the others to compete. The only competition that could exist then is exclusive games.
Yes.
So the games have to be really good. So my long-winded point is it would only be net good for us gamers because suddenly you have PlayStation and Xbox. Nintendo do their own thing. They always will.
Yeah.
But Nintendo and Xbox having to focus on getting behind really great games to be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously, you always have the diehards.
Yeah.
You've got the Xbots and you've got the PS Moaners.
Yeah.
I don't
the
know
ponies.
The ponies, thank you. Yeah.
Sony ponies.
For the shareholders.
Yeah.
You've got those ones that always be like PlayStation's best, Xbox best.
And that's fine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But for everyone else.
Everyone is kind of like open-minded about it.
Yes.
So I can see good bits in all of them.
Exactly, yeah.
I could only see net positive with a Steam machine.
Absolutely, because the idea right now of the only way of having a PC hooked up to your TV is to essentially have a Windows PC sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. Navigating Windows, you are absolutely forced to have a keyboard.
Keyboard, mouse.
You know, there is a way around it, but it's still janky, controller companion.
And if you then need to go to do anything in Windows, you probably want to use a mouse.
Yes, absolutely. So that kind of is not great. You're then looking at just buying building it yourself or buying a random PC and then hooking it up. Like it's just a pain.
Do you know what's there's something odd as well about unless you're a gamer, if you go to someone's house, go to someone's living room and they've got a PC in it, there's instantly something weird about that. So, wow. You must play a lot of MMOs or something. There's something instantly weird about it.
You're trying to say something because I've got like Dead RoboCop underneath the 77-inch TV. Oh, you're a bit of a weirdo.
Bit weird.
I mean, it's not wrong though. I'm a bit weird.
100% Steam machine gets over that. I would say that there's an interesting point to make as well is there's bound to be people that will respond to this by saying, A, the Steam Deck already exists.
Yeah, it does.
And that is a console.
Yeah, I get but
not for your TV. It's
not for your TV.
Not properly.
No way.
And the other one, B, or I should say A and 2, is they've done it before and it didn't work.
Yes.
I can't argue with the fact that they have kind of done it before, but they've never done it in the way they did it with the Steam Deck, where it's locked down one piece of hardware and they're making it. Whereas before it was 1,000 different variants from all different PC manufacturers. All outsourced. It was basically just Steam OS licensed onto different PC configurations.
Exactly that. Yes, exactly that. And we've seen now that they're broadening Steam OS to work with these handhelds like the Ally and potentially other things as well. So what's to say they're not testing some sort of Steam machine themselves?
What they'll definitely do by doing that is add to the library of information they already collect from Steam players.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is configurations.
Yeah, they've got the user data, and you can see, we can go on there right now and you can see what the number one used like GPU is and all that kind of stuff. So they've got all the data under their fingertips of what the most like the best card is for the biggest range of games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'd be very easy for them to see what specs they would fall into.
It's exactly how all the R&D is kind of done. So what do we need to do, and what percentage increase in performance do we need to future-proof it for 5 to 7 years?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of easy to see. They've got all that information. If they do roll out SteamOS to other PC handhelds, which they've already said they're going to do for the Ally, they'll almost certainly make it available to the others as well. It'd be silly for them not to do it for the Legion Go at least.
Yeah, I mean,
like the really popular ones.
It'll be available for all, but it'll be like, so for the Ally right now, we know they're like basically tailoring it to the Ally. But for the other ones, it might just be like, here's a bog standard one, you do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you configure it. Whereas I reckon when it releases with support for the Ally, that's just going to work. You install it and it works. If you've got it for like a Zotac zone, maybe you have to like mess around trying to get the trackpads to work or something. Do you know what I mean? Like there might be like tweaks that you have to manually do, because I don't feel like they're getting nothing from these companies. Do you know what I mean? They're doing it for the players.
Yes, of course.
So I don't think they're just going to start making it work with everything with no money. Do you know what I mean? Like no one's paying them to do this.
What's the incentive for them to do it? This is why I'm trying to think. Not the console, but why roll out SteamOS to, let's just say, the Allies?
Okay.
Let's say that's the only one they're doing it.
Yeah.
What's the incentive for Valve to do that? Because obviously you can already access your Steam library.
Yeah, well, you can just with on Windows.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Hit big picture mode. You can even boot Windows into big picture mode. Like you don't even need it.
So there must be like a bigger thing at play for them to do it.
Yeah, there must be.
So they don't just do things because it's nice to do.
No, yeah. No, I don't really know. I mean, I feel like they're just doing it because they promised it. At the start, they said, we're going to make this available to like other devices.
Yeah,
and Bazite is now a thing, which isn't actually SteamOS. It's just Linux looking like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a fan project or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a free
open source thing, isn't it? So like I don't know what their actual incentive is.
I think the only thing I think is just to get as much critical performance data as possible.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, to see what
that must be part of the
using.
thinking, at least.
Maybe.
System, the configurations of systems that people are using, and in different games.
Yeah.
Perhaps outside of the Steam library.
Yeah. Maybe.
So, say like Outlaws is a good example. When you're launching games outside, what's the configuration? And so then you have all this information. So when it does come into, even if it's not the Steam Machine version 2, if it's just the next Steam Deck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which we know the next Steam Deck will happen at some point.
It will, yeah.
Because it's been so successful.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We know it's going to happen, but they've said themselves that they're waiting for the next generational leap, which I feel like will be like RDNA 4 or later, maybe even 5. You know, I still think we're a minimum of a year out.
Yeah, I think we're.
And I reckon we're probably 2 years away for the next proper big jump up.
If it's a year out and we've got the RDNA 4 stuffs here, and starting to be rolled out onto PC handhelds, how far away is that from the launch of this LCD? That's 4 years, isn't it? Or 5 years?
It would be 4 years, I think.
Yeah. It's not quite long enough, is it, for what they were saying?
No, that's what they're hinting at, yeah.
But things have moved probably slightly quicker than they had imagined.
In the APU land, yeah, definitely.
Definitely in the APU land, and definitely in the handheld gaming space in general.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I think it took us all a bit by surprise.
Yeah, totally. Especially
Steam Deck definitely did.
Steam Deck did, and I'd dare say like the Windows hand.
Do you remember your initial reaction to the Steam Deck?
Yes, yeah, well, but I think it was right. I said I'm not going anywhere near it because I know PCs. I've been working with PCs for 20 years, and I thought it's going to be janky and buggy and a pain in the ass.
We only had their track record to go off at the time.
Yeah, especially with all the hardware
with
stuff.
the Steam Machine and the controller. Didn't they have a VR thing as well?
Yes, which I think people still really love.
I know, but I don't like VR, so that's
never used
probably
it.
why.
Yeah. They're just too expensive.
The controller wasn't very nice.
No.
The Steam Machine obviously was
a failure.
It was just a failure.
They did the Steam Link stuff as well. So
I don't even know what that is.
That's just streaming from another PC.
Yeah.
So like you have your gaming PC upstairs, you have the Steam Link down in your sitting room. I had one, and then you'd run the game on your PC like I was doing when I was doing it over the Steam Deck. Well, you know, using the Steam Deck instead. So they did those as well, and they were relatively successful, but not like massively.
Yeah.
They ended up selling them off for like £5, like just to get rid of stock.
Yeah, so their track record at the time of hardware wasn't great.
No.
There was a lot of kind of commercial failures and stuff that got stopped supported quite quickly. So when the Steam Deck initially got announced, I remember you saying, I'm definitely not pre-ordering it. It was, in fact, the most ratioed video we've ever done.
Yes.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
$300 too much. So that was my doing.
I was going to say, that was your fault, not mine. And it was like $399 or something at launch. Like $300. Amazing.
Yeah, that got a lot of hate.
Everyone did hate on it, but I think I was still justified if you watch the video.
Yeah, I think your point at the time was, I love the idea of this.
Yes.
But I'm not going to pre-order it because I want to see if it's supported.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like a beta tester
for it.
Yeah, I wanted to, because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of bugs and stuff at launch.
Yeah, it was.
And it took a while for them to stabilize it. And granted to them, they absolutely have fixed it and done
and
amazing things.
That took us all by surprise.
So I waited a year.
Yeah.
Then I got the LCD deck, got it in my hands, went, wow, that screen sucks.
Yeah.
But I loved it. But I immediately said, literally having it in my hands after like 5 seconds of turning it on,
I don't think you would have thought it sucked if you hadn't had the Switch OLED.
True. Yeah,
If the Switch didn't have an OLED by that point, it'd been since the Vita, since we'd seen an OLED and a decent handheld.
Yeah, true. But I will say, if you put an LCD deck and like an Ally next to each other, the Ally screen is miles better.
Yeah, that's very true. The Ally screen is some kind of marvel of science. I don't know how it looks so good and it's not OLED.
It's still not as good as OLED, obviously, but it's leaps above the LCD deck, in my opinion.
Yeah. The fact that it's called LCD, it's kind of misleading.
Yeah.
Because that makes you think like it's going to be dull and not have the vibrancy of the OLED screens.
That's what I thought when I got the Ally X, our first one, from Asus, when they were like, test this out before I bought my own. I was thinking it's going to be rubbish because it's an LCD screen.
Yeah.
As soon as I turned it on, I was like, whoa, this is way better than what the LCD deck looked like.
Yeah.
You know, like miles better. Like I actually thought it looked good. Whereas with the LCD deck, the second I turned it on, I went, ugh.
Yeah, what's this?
Unless I had a really bad one, which it could have been the case.
Yeah,
it was terrible bleed. The colours were washed out.
It was smudgy,
it was horrible, yeah. But anyway, and then I wanted the OLED one. Well, they hadn't even talked about it.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'd got the OLED, everything that I'd feared at the announcement of the Steam Deck had just gone.
Yeah.
You know, they'd fixed everything and now it's viable. But yeah, I had concerns at the start, for sure.
It doesn't mean the problems of the past have gone away with Valve.
Yeah.
They have hit and misses.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it suggests. Does it even make sense for them to roll the dice and enter the TV space with a console?
It'd be the only PC.
They would be.
Like, easy experience.
Yeah.
Because SteamOS is so good.
Perfect.
Like,
I'd say it's perfect.
It is, like, especially for a TV experience.
Yep.
Got your controller.
Yep.
Done. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. You don't need anything. Like, you literally don't need anything. You
Put
don't
a trackpad on the controller.
Exactly. They could release, like, a Steam controller 2.
Yeah.
That is basically, you know, just the Steam Deck controls, but in like a better.
I just think, like,
controller.
you know, like the DualSense controller for the PS5.
Yeah.
They've got the center bit.
Yeah, which is
just
trackpad.
trackpad.
Yeah.
You just use the same idea.
Yes, yeah.
Or use your PS5 controller.
yeah, that. But, you know, they could launch this Steam machine with a Steam controller too.
Yeah.
Which would then have your trackpads if you like, you know, RTS games or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you've still got your good controls.
Yeah.
If you don't play rubbish games.
I think a trackpad is a must if they do it.
It would be necessary because it is still a PC.
It's still a PC. There are still RTS games.
Yes.
There are still people that want that.
Yes.
And it's probably the biggest criticism of the Ally.
Oh yeah.
Is that it doesn't have.
Yes.
And to be fair, I can kind of understand it.
I can, but in use, I don't care.
No.
I don't care for one. But it'd be nice to have one singular one as a mouse for Windows would be great.
I was just going to say, for the operating system stuff, do you know what? If you're not playing RTS games and not using the kind of mouse configuration, you get used to it real quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
Using the joystick and the triggers.
Yeah.
But I'd say as a whole, it would need to have that. I would love for Valve to do it. I'd love for them to make a console. I would 100% buy it. And I kind of would suspect that it'd be a commercial success.
Yes.
It's just a big gamble for them to do it.
It is a big gamble, and maybe it's less of a gamble for them to release the Switch, the Steam Deck 2.
Less of a gamble.
And alongside that, release a little eGPU.
Yes.
Just a singular one, no configuration change. It's just basically a beefed up dock, one cable in.
Just call it Steam Link 2.
Yeah.
Because, it's
but
just
that could be called the Steam Machine.
Yeah, it could be.
They could have like
that. It's a bit of a compromise.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's as widely. Well, I say that, but then the Switch happened.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't think it'd be as widely as endorsed, but
I don't think it would be as widely endorsed versus them releasing a standalone Steam Machine.
That feels more exciting.
Yeah, because otherwise you're then forced to buy a Steam Deck 2.
Yeah.
And the dock, which
True.
You're still going to get worse performance out of versus a proper Steam Machine. And that's forcing you to have this hybrid setup, which some people might not want, and drive the cost up because they're manufacturing two separate things.
I'd say that actually. The Switch is a good example. I've owned probably, I think it's 3 or 4 of them over the years now. It's one that's just sat there slowly dying. And none of them I've played handheld.
No, yeah.
They've all just been docked permanently.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm using the best handheld, the Ally X, and I'm forcing it to be docked.
You're spending hundreds of hours and pounds to try and figure out how to dock the thing.
To turn it into a docked TV, PC. Yeah.
How to turn it into
I could have
Asus console.
I could have literally just built a PC and
could have just built a PC. Yeah.
HDMI'd it into the telly.
But you are a handheld gamer. That's your thing.
But that is the thing. Yeah. I love playing handheld.
Yeah.
So I want the best of both worlds, but I'd argue that most people don't care.
Yeah, and that's where I was getting at. Is that that's why I cancelled my pre-orders to the portal. So I knew I probably wouldn't use it.
Yeah.
The Ally X that's still here, I love it, and I love for its accessibility.
It's a great product. Yeah.
It makes gaming really easy, but I still gravitate towards the consoles over time.
Yeah.
There's something about that sofa experience. Mm-hmm. If you've got access to your TV all the time as well, this is the balance. Mm. The handheld thing, super convenient, especially Steam Deck and Ally and stuff. Super convenient. You remove the hurdle of gaming by just making it really easy, and I don't have to take over the whole lounge.
Yes.
It's like the complete opposite of what a PC at a desk is.
Yes, and that's why I like this choice of having it docked / undocked,
So I guess in a really roundabout way in this thing, I'm really torn as to what Valve should do.
It's difficult,
next.
Isn't it? Yeah. I feel like they need to let the Steam Deck 2 cook.
Yeah.
So that when it comes out, it's top of the game.
Yes.
Because they entered the market when there was no market.
Yeah.
They were the first.
Yeah.
Like, screw A&EO and all those rubbish janky ones, right? Like, they're there and they're cool. And if you're well into it, great. But they're not for the general public.
They're not, no.
They're for the real fanatics, the power users.
Yeah.
So Steam Deck entered above Steam Deck, Switch,
and
was like, whoa, and this got everyone, excited. Now we've got this plethora of all these handhelds everywhere, but now Steam Deck's like the Switch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's outdated.
It's outdated. It's really outdated, but it's basically birthed all these PC monstrosities, And so I feel like Valve were right by saying we're not going to upgrade it until there's a noticeable upgrade. So I feel like they should sit on that, get the best it can be, so that when it does drop, it's going to wipe the floor with everything at the best price it can be, because they've got the power and the money behind them to be able to do that, undercut everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
They did it with the Steam Deck. It's still really competitively priced.
It's well good price. Yeah. Very, very good price. Yeah. I mean, look at the Ally X, 800 quid.
Yeah.
800. The Steam Deck OLED starts at what, 470? It's almost half price.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Every time you say that, you get hate. You realise that.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes. But the
configurations are different.
Yeah. If it's only the freaking storage, the actual thing didn't change. But anyway, so I feel like let that cook.
Yes.
And bring out Steam Machine.
Yeah.
Boom. Done.
I'll say it again for the 15th time. I would buy one day one.
Yeah. I would genuinely, if it outperformed at a price point, outperformed my eGPU setup with the Ally X, I would probably sell my eGPU setup and get a
I don't think you would.
Steam Machine.
Because there's one big problem there yet to overcome.
Oh, yeah, it's not Windows.
Anti-cheat.
Yeah, it's not Windows. That's true. So yeah, okay, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't buy the Steam machine.
Just a couple of little bits they need to overcome.
It's not Windows. Yeah, no, you're right. So I wouldn't get one. I would stay with my eGPU setup.
Yeah.
Right. But if I didn't have the eGPU set up, then I would probably get one.
Yeah. I would get one because I don't have the alternative.
Yes. I think it would literally be the best way to introduce millions of new non-PC users into a user-friendly, safe PC space.
100% that.
Even kids can use.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about what little Billy's watching or doing because it's just a gaming machine.
It's just locked down.
Yeah. It's a gaming machine. And it's got parental controls and all that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I genuinely believe it would damage the market for at least for Xbox.
Yeah, I do. I do think so. They would have to collaborate, surely. Microsoft would have to get into Valve's like good books.
So that's such a tricky one for them, isn't it? Because it actually makes Xbox part of Microsoft look really precarious all of a sudden, and it already is a little bit.
Yes, yeah. It's a shame because I don't want Xbox to leave.
No,
I love the name Xbox. Like, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool.
I love the consoles.
I mean, I love Game Pass. They just end up being a non-console manufacturing gaming giant.
I don't want that though. I want the Xbox in my living room. You know, because that's what I like is that Christina could play on the Xbox. I can play on PC.
You just like it because you only have to pay for one Game Pass subscription.
That's exactly it.
There's still this weird loophole that exists.
Yes.
Two of you using the same. Microsoft, do you realise that there's a loophole on Games Pass that two of you can use the same subscription at the same time? Play the same games.
No one needs to know that.
You can play different games at the same time.
Yes. And the same. But no one needs to know that. No one needs to know.
You're not alone. There's someone in our Discord, one of our members.
Yes.
I think was it Dan?
Yeah, I think it's Dan.
In one of our channel members in the Discord saying, I do the same thing.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, you do.
Yes. But that's the thing. I do genuinely love having an Xbox. Like, it's really cool because there's some games I just want to get on Xbox and have it work.
Yeah.
I don't want to faff around with settings like I do on PC. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, boom.
You won't have to with a Steam machine.
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, potentially.
I would just imagine there'd be
verified.
Verified.
Like,
yeah.
But then, it'd be down to how widely adopted it became.
Yes.
And how
that's really interesting. At first, there will be there'll be like a good year of teething problems with developers.
Yes.
Because you would hope that eventually they would have like a Steam machine setting option or something.
So many are jumping on that now for the Steam Deck.
For the Steam Deck, yeah.
Even games that shouldn't really work, they're trying their best to try and get it working on the Steam Deck because they know the Steam Deck's driving sales of these games as well. So if there's a Steam Deck verification with the Steam Deck setting.
Do you know what the unit sales has been for the Steam Deck?
I don't know. 3 million or something?
Really?
I think.
I'd love to see. Do you know what? I'm going to look if you can.
Yeah, do it.
Occupy
here we are. I don't have any juggling balls, so no. But I feel like I read somewhere that it's like in the low millions.
Really?
like between 1 and 3 million, which I think is a lot for like a real niche PC Linux-based handheld. I think that's a lot of sales for something so sort of small and niche, because not everyone wants a PC handheld.
I can't actually find it. No.
That's good. I'll stop.
Stop it then.
I'm pretty sure it's like the last time I saw was somewhere between 1 and 3 million.
That's less than I thought, actually.
I think
it's still quite good.
I think that's quite a lot,
considering it's a new thing. Still,
think about that is purely there to drive software sales.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So per every person of these, let's say 3 million.
Yeah.
How many games have they bought?
I know. Yeah.
And I know so many PC players. I was one that stopped playing on PC, got a Steam Deck, and now I'm buying loads of Steam games again.
Yeah.
And it's getting me into gaming again in the PC space.
Yeah.
So they're making way more money off you.
Yes, true.
So that 3 million might have actually
in truth
increased sales massively.
Historically, consoles were just a loss lead for software sales.
Yeah, just to sell games. Yeah.
Just to sell games. It feels like that. I know PlayStation's business direction changed. They got a new, I can't think what role it was at the head of PlayStation. But their new business direction was that stop making losses on your hardware and accessories. and start making a profit on them.
Right.
Which is why we've seen the price creeps on stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
I imagine Microsoft are going to go the same way.
Yes.
So selling 3 million units of the Steam Deck, let's say, if it is a loss, it's a great loss because they've obviously made a lot more.
They've made a lot of money.
Software sales.
Yes.
It goes to the final point, I guess, would be what would be the cost of a Steam machine?
It really depends on what they're aiming to achieve with it. Again, I think the most affordable and best solution for them would be to try and hit decent settings at 1440p.
Yep.
Because obviously, if you go to 4K, you're into silly money in
PC.
The
only problem with that is that if you're in the console space, there's been a lot of mis-selling of specs.
8K.
PlayStation's 8K. That never happened, and they took off the box, and now they put it back on the box for the Pro. And even with Xbox, the kind of slightly misleading specs that are on there, which leaves gamers to believe. I bet if you're not like an avid gamer, like someone who listens to this podcast, but just someone who plays Call of Duty occasionally or Fortnite or whatever.
Little Billy's brother.
Yeah. Bob.
Yeah. Little Billy Bob. Yeah.
If you ask Billy Bob, I bet they would say like 4K is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like en masse.
Yes.
Because that's kind of what's expected now. It needs to be 4K. And they've probably got a 1080p TV in their room that's like 32 inches or so.
Playing on a GameCube.
It needs to be 4K.
Yeah, 4K.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a HD ready TV.
Yes.
720p.
Oh, I remember buying my first HD ready.
Oh, those are the days.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think all of that rubbish needs to be taken off boxes of all consoles.
Yeah.
Stop pushing resolutions.
I'm surprised they're allowed to do it when they so clearly
are lying.
Yeah.
It's misrepresentation. Just because it can do it because it's got an HDMI 2.1 port doesn't mean that it can hit 8K 60. What? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, even I'm looking at the Xbox Series X box behind your head.
Yeah.
And it specifically says 4K 120 FPS.
4K 120.
Yeah.
Like you could do that at the same time.
So
4K 120.
It's got the new RTX 5090 in.
I think it does.
Yeah, it's got like a $2,000 graphics card in it.
Yeah.
So it can play native 4K 120.
It's got that, but that one only cost me 350 quid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
With a card that's not even out yet.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's utter like false advertising at its finest.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's not important.
It's not important.
It's not important.
And do you know why it's not? What would tell you it's not important? The Nintendo Switch will tell you it's not important.
Yes. Yeah.
And we can all sit there and pick holes in how much of a potato the Switch is now and all the rest of it. But it sold close to 150 million units.
Yeah.
Commercially, it's a massive success.
Oh, yeah.
And its performance was the last thing they cared about.
Yeah.
And it will be the same for the Switch too.
Yes.
Performance will be the last thing they care about. So you're right. These things aren't really that important for console gamers.
No.
Not truthfully.
No. But for people that don't know, which are unfortunately the people that are conned by this
making
stuff.
decisions.
Yeah. So like if you say to someone that doesn't even understand what 4K 120 is,
exactly,
they'll go, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, because the numbers are bigger.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But if you said to a PC gamer, there's this console that runs off SteamOS that can run games around 100 FPS and you're getting 1440p out of it, you'd be like, that sounds pretty sick.
Yeah.
If it's consistent and stable.
Yes,
please.
Absolutely. And the thing is as you touched on earlier with the upscalers and the frame gens and all that kind of stuff, you could get a really good image. Do you know what I mean? Like if you compared a native compared to like an upscaled one now, it's difficult. It's difficult to see the difference. Especially if you're using something like DLSS where it's very clean. You know, you've got to be a real like
pixel peeper.
Yeah, pixel peeper to be able to spot the difference and stuff. Average Joe, little Billy, he didn't care.
And what about Bob?
Yeah, but Bob, his brother's
What
more.
was Billy's mum's called again?
I can't remember.
Sarah?
Don't know. I never met her, so
No.
I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I feel like that's not important in any gaming.
No.
I think it should be just hit the highest resolution you can with the most stable FPS. You know, 60 or above.
Yeah.
And then go that way. And with the Steam machine, I feel like it would need to be like high texture machine.
Yes.
For it to still be like, oh, this looks good. Don't even put what resolution it's at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let it auto detect your telly and go, we're putting it at 1440 anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if it can't hit it, it will utilize upscalers or whatever, you know? Like, I feel like that would be the best way if they can automate it somehow.
We'll see what happens. I think Steam Deck 2 first.
Yes.
And then
I reckon
then
that'd
maybe
be
a
the
Steam
case.
Machine. It would be amazing if it happened.
Yeah.
But what I do love about this podcast is that we can sit here and fantasize about things.
Because we're fake.
Because we're fake and we make things up.
Yes, we do.
But now is the time for us to go and eat lunch.
I'm very hungry.
We are both very hungry. And now is the time for you to rate the show if you're in Spotify and podcast land.
Do it.
Do it. It really does help us out
We
probably
want to
more than
be
you realise.
number 1 in your country.
Yes, please. We were number 12 in South Africa the other day.
I'm good. I'm glad.
But one sad thing is that they're removing the chart software so I can no longer see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
No, I know.
You all have to rate us even more now.
Yes.
So then our minds, we know we're going
And
higher
we can
in the
appear in
rating.
the trending pages and all that
Yes.
stuff. And if you're on YouTube land, it should be obvious what to do by now. It's like the video.
Yep.
Subscribe if you're not already, because you should be. And maybe join in the conversation below in the comments. I genuinely do read the comments. I don't get around to answering everyone, but mainly when you throw hate at Andy for, I don't know, something he said.
Yeah.
He said something earlier that I
definitely said something earlier that's going to trigger people. I can't remember what it was.
Most things.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is one of the things people hate about us most, is saying yes to each other.
It is. I was actively trying not to do that as much this episode.
I forgot.
I was like, I'm going to hold my yes, yums, and whatever I say. Yeah.
What else did they do before we go?
Become a member.
Yes, please.
And you can talk to us in our private Discord along with our lovely members.
They are a lovely bunch and we'd love you being here too. And consider watching another video from us here at 128KB.
Do it.
We are a lovely bunch and we do love you being here.
We do. And I do read your comments.
Yeah, there's a video smashed between our faces.
Boom.
Go and watch it.
Do it.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.